everyone. For this Random Talk Sunday, I thought it would be interesting and appropriate to do a fan request. And the request was to discuss how I happened to come across the Nostalgia Critic. I thought this was a fairly interesting topic, and I kind of wanted to sort of address how I somehow started watching his videos and getting interested and inspired by his sort of unique criticism and comedy. So I figured, why not briefly discuss that sort of exposure that I got. Now, initially, I actually did not hear of the Nostalgia Critic through a friend or through a family member or anything. It wasn't, I guess you could call it a word of mouth kind of approach, but basically I was kind of rediscovering my Disney roots, and I noticed that within the comments section of YouTube that someone mentioned the Nostalgia Critic brought me here, or something to that effect of, I came here because of the Nostalgia Critic. And I was just kind of confused. I go, wait, who's the Nostalgia Critic? And so I literally typed him into YouTube as a result of that comment, and suddenly all these videos popped up, and I thought, I might as well just watch one of them. And I really don't remember which video it was that I watched first. It was a very long time ago, so I can't really say exactly the content that was being presented to me. But what I can say is that I really remember laughing. I really remember enjoying myself watching the video. And I think I watched several more that day. I don't think I just clicked on one and said, that was funny, okay, move on, go do something else. I kind of spent, not the entire day, but some of the day just going through some of the videos that he had, and I just thought that they were really funny and very entertaining and amusing. So I decided to further watch his content, and I happened to, I guess, I'm trying to remember exactly where I came across the actual website in regards to the Nostalgia Critic, but I think that was maybe through a Google search or something, or it might have been within one of the videos that I watched, where in the description it says, it gives a link to, I guess, the actual website. So I was originally exposed to the Nostalgia Critic through YouTube and not necessarily through the website. So I guess that's how you could say I came sort of in contact with the whole sort of that guy with the glasses community. And I think at first, when I was initially watching the videos, it was probably the start, I would say, around my sophomore year and of college. And as I was going through college, it really wasn't a lot of fun. I thought a lot of the classes were really a waste of time, of my resources and energy, and I just wanted to get out, and it was hard, you know, trying to try to make friends that I could relate with and talk to. So at times it felt a little bit lonely, and I think a lot of people resort to entertainment to sort of get them away from the whatever is bothering them in their life, to kind of give them some kind of, maybe not necessarily hope, but some kind of fun and some kind of energy that's positive and uplifting and amusing and makes you laugh. And I think the Nostalgia Critic is one of those entertainment outlets, at least for me, when it came to that. I think that what he offered to the table, in regards to a lot of other channels that I've seen on YouTube that even discuss video or movies, or even have anything in general on YouTube, I felt like that this content was a lot more of quality and a lot more unique and creative than a lot of the things that I've seen on the internet when it comes to entertainment. So I was really taken aback, and I was just so surprised, like, wow, there's finally this person that's actually good on YouTube. I was just so shocked. And I mean, there's other channels on YouTube that I think do a really good job, but the Nostalgia Critic, I think, was the first one in particular that I came across on YouTube that actually kind of was one that I really found myself enjoying, and was just a very uplifting kind of presence, considering just how much I've laughed over the years, and then I've come to sort of share his work and his enthusiasm for his work. I have a lot of in-jokes with people that I know in regards to the Nostalgia Critic, so it's kind of fun just bringing up those random tidbits of lines. But I think really ultimately that's kind of my story into how I came to know the Nostalgia Critic. And since I'm in California, I don't remember hearing him coming to California for any events or things like that. So, hence, I've never met this man in real life, and I don't really know him as a person in real life, so I can't really say. And again, it gets kind of confusing because, again, he's playing the Nostalgia Critic, but then there's also his true personality, which is Doug Walker, which is his actual name. So, overall, I've never met the person, but regardless of that, that doesn't matter really to me necessarily. If I had the opportunity to meet him, that would be wonderful, but I don't know if that's fairly logical, because I don't know if he's probably even going to come out to California, because a lot of the events that I've seen him do are like in other states and are just way out of the ballpark of what I could be involved in. So ultimately, I still enjoy him as a performer, as an entertainer, and yeah, I think he's really evolved over the years. And some people maybe say, like, oh, he doesn't really do a lot of nostalgic kinds of videos anymore, and yeah, that might be somewhat true, but there is things that might be becoming more nostalgic now, considering that they're maybe over 10 years old or something like that. Like the 2000s are already kind of starting to become, I guess you could say, nostalgic, since we're already in 2014. So, again, I think that's really up to people's sort of interpretation. But ultimately, I do find myself really enjoying his content. I do find myself laughing a lot. I do find myself going back to his older reviews and watching them, and some of his newer ones too, and really laughing and enjoying the kinds of performances and ideas that he comes up with. And I think even though he has maybe changed some of his sort of formula by maybe adding in more actors and, doing different things, I think that's still okay, because I think he still remains true to the kind of character he's trying to get across, and is trying to present the content in a way that reflects his own personal sort of opinion. And I think that works for a performer. But I mean, ultimately, I think as far as anything else goes, I really hope that he continues on, and that those who are also on his website continue on doing what they enjoy doing. And I can tell that they really put their heart and soul into what they do. And regardless of whether I do watch their content or not, I think it's great that we have this kind of technology now where we can finally kind of, sort of express ourselves, and artists can maybe express themselves more easily and sort of make a quasi-living off of it. But I'm not sure as to the extent of if this is really what people do for a living or not. And ultimately, there'll be people who will probably come and go from the channel, and we've seen, I think, that happen. But overall, I think the entire experience that he offers is fairly unique. And I think it's interesting. It just depends on whether or not you enjoy the kinds of content that he goes over. And sometimes maybe some people might not agree with his opinion. And again, I don't agree with him 100% of the time. But that doesn't mean that I can't get some kind of enjoyment out of his criticism of it, and that I can't laugh at it either. So, I really like the whole over-the-top approach that he goes for when it comes to filmmaking. So, I think overall it really works to his advantage. But I think ultimately that's really all I can say in regards to this topic in particular. I think that as long as he continues to try to go into whatever direction he wants to go into, that he'll succeed. And it seems like he has a lot of passion within him, and it seems like he has an understanding of really what he wants to do and of who he is as maybe a person and as an entertainer and a performer. So I think really ultimately though that's all I can say, and as a person who I guess you could consider a fan of the Nostalgia Critic and his content and some of his other his other co-workers' content, I hope that you all continue to do what you enjoy doing. It must be a very rewarding experience, especially to have such a community of people who enjoy the kinds of things that you talk about and kind of poke fun of and provide some insight into. And I think it's definitely worth looking into if you really enjoy these kinds of materials that they talk about, in particular movies. In particular, some of them video games too, which I'm really not a huge fan of. But I think that if you enjoy some kind of art and some kind of entertainment, you will enjoy something that I think comes out of what they produce. But again, I think there's various opinions that people have in regards to the Nostalgia Critic and whether or not they feel like he's changed or not. But to be honest, I really enjoy him as an entertainer and as a performer. And I'm not saying that he is like a god and that I worship him and that I agree with everything he says, because again, I don't agree with everything that he says. But what I do is I just kind of sit back and look at it through his perspective and sort of just laugh at myself. And, well, not at myself, but I laugh at the performance that he's performing or that he's doing, and then I sort of laugh at myself because I'm like, haha, I disagree with you, but I still laugh. So overall, I think that's really all I can mention in regards to this topic. And really, that's ultimately the first time I was really exposed to Nostalgia Critic, was really from YouTube and really from that outlet and really from his fans who really post these kinds of videos that he does. So again, I think it's definitely worth a recommendation if you're interested in criticism, if you're interested in, video commentary, then I think you will definitely enjoy him. But yeah, I think ultimately though that's all I can really say in regards to the subject. But if there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But until next time, everybody.